Hello there. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomi Olarinmoye, and such a joy to come your way this beautiful Monday morning. So again, yesterday was another Mother's Day. Mothers are so special, mothers are so dear, and I celebrate every woman out there. Thank you for all you do for humanity. And last Monday, was it not fantastic? It was a time out with children telling us their expectation of us as parents. So they were defining parenting from their own perspective. And it was quite interesting to listen to these children tell you what they think is parenting. It was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and the feedback was amazing. A big shout out to every single person that joined, that watched even afterwards, that passed their comments. It was an amazing time. Thank you so, so much. And today, still talking about parenting, we're looking at the challenges of a working mother. And with me in the house today is a senior partner leading Veraki's real sector practice, covering energy, consumer products, agriculture, infrastructure, and retail. Before Veraki, she was a partner with Accenture, one of the leading multinational consulting firms, heading its energy practice covering oil, gas, and utilities. She has varied experiences doing work covering corporate growth strategy, enterprise transformation, strategic marketing, pre and post unbundling and privatization, and projects aimed at assessing social and economic impact of oil and gas operations in developing countries. She has over 29 years experience managing several clients and brands across Africa and globally. My guest has led the leadership development program for Nigeria for several years, and also championed and led the development of the Women's Network for her organization. Outside the workplace, she is passionate about capacity building, empowerment, and helping women, businesses, and youths to realize their potential. Ladies and gentlemen, receive with me today to the Knocks to Nuggets platform, Abayomi Olarinmoye. Hey, see who is in the house. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
Yomi.
Good to see
How are
you.
you, man? Good to see you too.
Hey,
Good
Abayomi, can
morning,
I hear
everyone.
you?
Can you
Yes.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, great. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good to see you and good to have you. Thank you for coming in spite of your schedule. So, last week we had children talking about parenting, and they had their various definitions and expectations. And today I'm taking you on the challenges of a working mother. So we want to be all of these things for these children, but then we still have a career. We have a home, we have a life. How is that as a career woman and a mother?
Hmm, hmm. It's interesting. It's
Hmm,
tough. It's
hmm,
challenging. It's also rewarding, if I may use those four words.
hmm,
Interesting, tough, challenging, rewarding. You are constantly having to juggle many balls in the air.
hmm,
Sometimes one falls, sometimes a lot of the times you manage to keep them in the air. um
hmm,
yeah, it's and it's an eye opener. It's yeah, it's life. I think that we all have roles as wives, as mothers, and we also have a vocation. Whether you're working in a career, you're growing your business, or you're ever staying at home full time, you have something you do. For most of us, so
hmm,
it's about how you make everything work out, so that yourself and your stakeholders are all happy,
hmm. I
at
like
least
that
most
word,
of the
your
time.
stakeholders.
They're your stakeholders.
I like that word. And I want to take you up right on that. So, how you make everyone happy, your stakeholders, being your employer, being your spouse, being your children, being family. How are you able to balance? Is there anything like work-life balance where you just have everything in a perfect balance and you are standing there, the superwoman? Is there anything like that?
There's no perfect balance in life, honestly. Um, you do the best you can. You do the best you can. Even then, there'll be times when you will second guess yourself and you
Mm,
ask, have I done enough? Am I doing enough here? There'll be times when one of those balls will take the main seat will
mm-hmm.
be major and the others would, you know, um, will just
Drag
be
behind.
doing okay, yeah, tracking. And there'll be times when it's another one of them that would you would focus on. By and large, you manage to keep it all together, but it isn't like you're giving 100% to every sphere of your life all at the same time. No,
Mm.
no.
Thank you. Thank you for being real. And I like the way you said it. Sometimes this one is in front, another time this is in front. You can't have it all 100% at the same time. But at times in career, sometimes we feel guilty when the ball in front is not family, it's not children. How are you able to manage that? Because I look at your profile and I see you able to move in all of these sectors. How are you able to manage it and not go on a guilt trip?
So once in a while you go on a guilt trip, once in a while, but largely it's about vision. It's about focus. What's the
Mm,
vision? What's the goal you set for yourself? Who would you like to be? Who are you working towards being? Um, if that is clear in your mind, honestly, you get rid of the guilt trips
mm,
as quickly as you can. It's a question of, it's this is the kind of thing that you have to measure. You have to think carefully when you go into it. I want this. It's going to require a lot of sacrifice. I need to put in a lot of hard work. I'm focused on getting it. I will do what I have to do to make it work for me and for everyone else, for my family. And so once in a while, when those challenges come, you remind yourself about why you're doing this.
mm.
You
So
remind yourself about why you're doing it.
it's having a vision and a focus so that
Oh
when
yeah.
those challenges come, you can remind yourself of your why. Now, there are times for a growing mother, and one beautiful thing about this platform is a lot of young people come back to listen, to watch, whether on YouTube or Facebook. Something one of the children said, it said, we don't want our parents to hide behind parenting and not fulfill their dreams. And one of them said, we also want to celebrate it when our parents achieve something in their life. So, yes, they want to see it, but for you to achieve it, a lot of times they have to go on the back burner a bit for these things to work. How are you able to move forward and still keep them? So I hear it's challenging, however rewarding. How are you able to keep going in all your careers and keep them also together? How are you able to do that?
Well, there's a lot of negotiation involved. So you need help to have this career, to have a decent, successful career. You need an understanding partner. You need understanding children who know you're in this for the long haul and
Mm,
will help you to realize your objectives. Who understand that yes, there will be times when they need to sacrifice and that you're not like the mommy of so and so friend. You're just you. This is what you want. This works out for everyone. Um, yeah, so you need them to help you. So they're not sulking. They are not.
mm,
They are not going into a tantrum. They are not feeling neglected because they understand you're doing it for you and you're also doing it for them. The
mm,
reality of our lives, particularly in Nigeria, and not just in Nigeria, all over the world, is increasingly um, you need a dual income family if you want to maintain a particular standard of living. It's That you don't have it is not the end of the world, but really and truly, it would help.
Mm,
And so that realization that they're helping you and they're helping themselves, it works. And very quickly, you have to help them to not feel sorry for you or for themselves. You, and also something I need to add: don't overcompensate.
mm-hmm,
We try to compensate for the times we're not there by giving them the latest toys, the latest gadgets. It's not about that. Sometimes you need to just step back and say, look, there are children that life has not dealt with such a good hand, and they still manage to do well. So that's things are okay does not mean you should now overcompensate and spoil the children, because the
mm,
pendulum can swing in the other direction very very fast. You're not there, so anything they want, they're allowed to have it, and then you have spoiled entitled children.
mm,
We all have to make sure that we're working so that that won't happen, to prevent that from happening also.
hmm. Overcompensation. Now, that is the easiest thing to do, particularly when you're on this guilt trip and you feel, I haven't been there for them. So you want chocolate, you can have it. You want toy, you can have it. You want to go on a holiday, you can have it. You want to go and sleep over, you can have it. Because you just think you want to reward them for being there for you. Now, how do you handle it when Mr. A or Mrs. A are doing it for their children, and your child comes and says, Mommy, what I'm asking is not new. My friend has it, and what's this big deal? After all, you're not there, you're traveling. Why can't I also do this? And you know that this wouldn't all go well. However, uh, you can't be there. How then do you strike the balance with that child and let the child know, I'm still saying a no, I won't overcompensate?
So I talked about vision and goals early on. It's upfront. You need to let them know you are not so and so's child. You're my
Hmm.
child. This is our family. This is who we are. These are our values. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. That everybody is doing it does not mean you should do it. And they begin to expect it, once in a while you need to remind them, no, this is not who we are. Let me give you an example. If you can afford to and you take them on vacations, it may get to a point where they have now come to expect that it's the norm.
Yeah.
We always go. You need to also make them know it's a privilege to go. No means you have to go all the time. Once in a while, put them in the world of the less privileged.
Hmm.
Take them to the orphanages. Let them see what is happening around them. Let them know that, look, this life they have, this life that you are all building together, is a privilege. And they should not abuse the privilege. They should not
Hmm.
expect too much. And that you don't need to eat all your food upfront. So it's a matter of making your, I will use that word, stakeholders again, aware of your vision, your goals. Let them buy into it. Let them know why you're doing this. And somehow they would also, with a bit of you making noise, they would conform. They would conform. But yeah, a bit of you making noise,
I like
definitely.
that.
And you said something that I would like to pick on. So
Yeah.
when you're overcompensating, it's not because you're not there all the time. There are times when you're there. A child has a graduation, you're there. A child needs to go have an exam, you're there. A child has an interview, a parent needs to be there, you're there. So there are times when your career will definitely take a backseat. A child has started a new school, they have a tea party for parents, you're there.
Hmm.
Does that mean you go for tea
Hmm.
party every month, every semester, every term? Oh no, you may not be able to make it every term. But some of the most important milestones, you're there. So it isn't
Hmm.
like you're not there at all. You just pick the ones that are important, that are critical, that you need to attend. and the others you explain to them why you can't be there. Of course, being children, they will still remember. They will still remind you 2 years after that that, oh, mommy, you didn't come for my swim meet. Yes, I couldn't come for my your swim meet, but you know why I couldn't come. I explained to you. And like you
Hmm.
said, they are also vested in you having something you do. They also want to say, oh, my mom does this. Um, Not the title, but they want to know that you're okay too. And I tell parents sometimes, I say, look, when you give up everything just for them to do this, they're gonna leave the house very soon. I mean, you put them in one house, for instance, they've started the journey of leaving the home, secondary school, then they go off to uni. Then what happens if all you've done is pour all your attention, all of the gifts and abilities you have into just them? What happens when they start that journey that they are going to walk by themselves? You need to have
Hmm.
something that you're also focused on.
Hmm. Hmm. That's important for every mother out there. I like that last sentence. You need to have something that you are also focused on. Yes, thank God for these children. Thank God for giving them to us. But they're going to live their lives. They're going to go out someday. I know the
Mhm.
interesting thing. When they go out, they don't look back. They are excited to go.
Exactly.
They're like,
I
Mom,
mean,
back.
just take them to summer camp or somewhere. They wave to you and they go off. And you're the one
Yeah,
feeling bad. You're the one crying. They've gone off with their friends. Mommy, why are you still waiting? They've gone off. It's the same thing.
true.
You don't want to go through life and then be filled with regret because you did not
Hmm.
live your life. You did not make enough of an effort to make it work. And please, we do understand that some mothers do have to make that sacrifice. If you have a
Hmm.
special child with special needs, or somehow you have a child whose health demands that you drop everything to be there, then you do it. That's what you have
Hmm.
to do, no question. But if
Hmm.
that is not the case, hey, live your life.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
They
Hmm.
teach them to live their lives too.
Yeah. Live your life and teach them to live their lives. And that is where the place of being a role model is, because they want to see what you're doing for them to do their own. Let me bring you back. So I'm on this call. I'm a mother. I haven't done it right. Can I go back and relay this foundation? Because everything you are saying is standing on a very solid foundation of conversation, of understanding, of making the vision plain, of making it clear to them that this is it. Maybe I'm on this call or I'm watching after now. I didn't know that, because really nobody is teaching parenting except now a few people are beginning to talk about parenting. Most of us go into parenting with our mindset, hits and misses. We do it the way we were raised. When it does not work, we go to the other extreme and we are staggering through it. And I realize I haven't done it right. Is it possible to still sit down your children and say, guys, let's talk, let's have this conversation? Or is it too late?
It's never too late. It's never too late. You rethink your choices and then you remind yourself about why you're doing this and you talk to them. You you help them, you engage them. You need to constantly engage your children in every phase of their life that they are in every phase of your lives in plural that you're in. You need to constantly engage them. So if you find out that, oh, this hasn't worked the way it should, and you're rethinking, you've decided to go in another direction, you sit down with them, ask them what they even want, ask them what they would like to see, teach them to make sacrifices. If you're making a sacrifice, they also should learn to make sacrifices. Let's see that this is done. There's no perfect life where nobody makes sacrifice and everything is handed to you on a platter of gold. Teach them so that when it's their turn, they will know the choices to make and they will know why they're making those choices also.
Hmm.
So you can always go back and turn things around.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
That's my opinion. You can always go back and turn things around.
You can always go back. And I like that fact that you can always go back and turn things around. It's never too late. It's never too late to get it right. So let's talk about negotiation. Negotiation with the children. How does this go?
Well, you use the word negotiation, not bribe. They're different.
True. Yes,
Not bribe.
true.
A
Mm.
lot of the time, the easier thing, what we would want to default to will be to bribe them. But
Mm.
that's it. Negotiation is different from bribe. Negotiation is what would you like, and this is what I would like, and how do we ensure that both of us get what we like or a compromise that works for us all. So you
Mm.
want to see mommy? Do you really want to see mommy all the time? Why is it that you want to see mommy
Mm.
at particular place? What exactly? You may even find out that it's not your presence that's the issue. It's just that they want an adult to be around. Just the fact that there's an adult there, or they're going through some things. So get to the root of it. So negotiate. This is what you would like. This is what I would like. This is what I have to do. How do we make both fit together? Teach them
Mm.
to start compromising. Negotiate. You know what? I can't come this time, but I promise you, the next time I will be there.
Mm.
And they will hold
Mm.
you to that promise and make sure you fulfill that promise. Life is a
Mm.
negotiation. And you also say, you know what? I need you to do this in school. I need you to behave this way. And I would see what I can do about juggling my schedule. Like I said, you don't
Mm.
bribe, you negotiate, you come to a compromise.
Mm. Mm.
Whether it's a
Mm.
toy they want, a vacation they want to spend time with their friends, they want a sleepover, whatever it is, life is about negotiating what
Hmm.
works for all parties involved. So don't bribe because
Negotiating. Hmm.
at some point they'll feel entitled when you bribe. And you know,
Hmm.
children have our number. They have our number. So they know what they want and they will walk you into that corner so that you give it to them. So it's not
Hmm.
bribe, it's
Hmm.
negotiation.
Hmm.
Sometimes they get it,
Negotiate.
sometimes they don't get it. Yeah.
Hmm. I like that. Negotiate, don't bribe. Now, let me take you back a bit. Starting off as a career woman and the children are young, what kind of systems can you put in place to cover that end?
Honestly, for those who know me or who've been long, they hear this from me all the time. I'm a broken record when it comes to this. You need all the support you can get on the home front. So in my case, I had a nanny. I had this nanny for 17 years, wonderful woman.
Wow.
I also had an assistant at home who was focused on making everything else helping the domestic assistant. I also had family coming in and out of my house. I encouraged it. I welcomed it. It felt comfortable for me. The fact that sister, brother, cousin, also then I showed the nanny in addition to the domestic assistant. Um, that there were always people around my children. Yeah, people saying these days when abuse is very topic, how big your risk? Not really. Um, you do what you have to do. Try and make sure that the people you put there, you're not putting your children at risk. You know, at the end of the day, you pray. So I had a lot of home supports, a lot. So we're different. A young couple starting out who have a two-bedroom flat may not have enough room or may not be able to afford to feed as many mouths. That's just the reality. But given that that is what their circumstance is, they should still try and get all the help they can. I hear a lot of young ladies who don't want people living in their house. It's my husband and I, my children. If it works for you. But for me, I don't know, maybe I grew up that way. I felt that I needed all the help I could get. Some I would pay for, some I didn't need to pay for, but I needed to have them around me. It cost me.
Mm-hmm.
It cost me you because you have children who started school. You suddenly realize that you need to have driver in addition to the nanny, and then maybe like I said, a domestic. Some it's the nanny that does everything. Does this cost money? Oh yes, that's part of the sacrifice. So if I have to spend money to make sure that we all get what we want, then we do. So um, I used to have a caterer who would make bowls of food and we would freeze them. When my constituents started complaining that they wanted fresh, I made another arrangement. We got someone who would come in, who would cook the food, so they would have what they want to eat fresh. For me, it wasn't an indulgence, it was necessary. My family doesn't want to eat frozen rice or frozen beans or frozen stew. Fine, so let's have a cook that will give them what they want to eat fresh when they want it.
Hmm.
Some people are like, oh, you're living like it. No, I'm not living like it. It costs me money to have that food. It costs us. But everybody's happy. I'm not
Hmm.
worried
Hmm.
about the food my spouse and children are eating.
Hmm.
Or myself, I'm not worried that I come home at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I'm looking for. So, identify what would make your life easier. It costs money, yeah. Pay for it. That's part of the cost of wanting this path that you have chosen.
Hmm. Hmm. I like that. Build systems that work for you. Ensure that whatever you need is not pride. It's not is not I'm looking for the right word to say, oh, I don't need anybody's help. It's my husband and I'm able to cope. If you cannot cope,
Not
get
with a
help.
career, not a
Yes.
career. No one is an island. You need support for you to have a successful career.
You're not being weak getting the right support. You're not being lazy getting the right support. Because Mrs. A doesn't have the support does not mean you shouldn't get one. Get what suits you best. And for everyone out there listening, ensure you have the right systems in place. Ensure
And some
because you
people,
need. Mm-hmm.
and to be fair, Abayomi, some people I'm not a superwoman. I say that upfront. But some people are able to juggle it. Wake up early, cook for the children, get them dressed, get them out of the door, or somehow make arrangements to bring them home on time. No TV, they do their homework. They're superwomen. I'm not a superwoman. I need someone to help me. If I'm going to work till 8, 9, I need someone who will be there at 3, at 4 p.m., who will make sure oh, the children have done their homework. When I drag them home later in the night, I can look at what has been done. But I need someone to help. If you are
Mm.
able to do it without having all of that help around you, I say that's wonderful for you. But for many
Mm.
of us, we realize that we need that help. For the peace of mind, comfort of mind I bring, I would rather have that. It's an echo step.
Mm.
You're helping them and they're helping you. Putting
It's
your
win-win.
presence in there and also making sure they're okay.
Hmm. It's win-win. They're helping you and you are also helping them. I was going to say your final words, but there's something you just said now that I'm tempted to take you on before we say your final word. In building career, and you have the right help, you said something that caught my attention. You are not abdicating your responsibility. So, yes, somebody has helped them do their homework, but when you come home, you still check it out and say, okay, what have you guys done? You might not be in every a visiting time or every open day or whatever it is. But the critical ones that you can be, you are there. So it's not like, oh, guys, you are off, you have a nanny, sort yourselves out. They know that you are doing this because of what it is you have at hand. And at the same time, you are able to keep the home front balanced. You're able to keep them going. You're able to ensure that together you can both identify what it is that you want. So maintaining that balance is huge. And Abayomi, before I let you go, your final words, particularly to young mothers.
So you can have it all.
Hmm,
It builds tough, but you can have it all. Put systems in place. Get all the help you can. Have a vision, a goal. Where do I want to go? What do I want to? What will I not do? How do I bring everybody along? How do I make my children understand that works for them, it works for me, it works for all of us? How do I make them understand that? You can have it all. It
hmm,
is tough. It takes negotiation. And you keep checking. Am I doing well? How have I done this year as a mother, as a wife? How have I done as a career? And when you do have to put one first, think twice about it. Don't think twice about it. I tried my best to make sure I was present every 16 days. When it comes to taking the children back to school, the children back to school. It's the start of the session, I'll do it. Or if it's came home for midterm, then I can take them back to school. But visiting day, I will be there. With the food, you need to see me. If I'm in town, if I'm in the country, I will be there. Balance it. Your networks are very necessary. You can't afford to bring in all the hard help you need. Help yourself. Have a friend. You can share help. You can share diverse. You can carpool. Just make sure you reach out for help and keep checking
hmm,
every year, every 3 years, every 5 years. How am I doing? Is this working out for all of us? Am I
hmm,
progressing in this career despite all the sacrifices I'm making? If I'm not progressing, should I switch careers? Are my children happy? Is my spouse happy? And am I happy? Do I feel that I'm doing what I would like to do? So that when the children are out of the house, you don't live your life a life of regrets. So make
hmm,
it work for you. If it's important enough to you, make it work for you. Put in all the work, make sacrifice, adjust,
hmm,
negotiate. It's been done. You can do it. We can do it. Thank you.
hmm. Thank you so much, Abayomi. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. I don't take it for granted. And in your final words, you said you can have it all. Thank you so much for coming. And like I always tell all my guests, I will come again. Someday, sometime in the near future, I will come knocking on your door again. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful and fantastic week ahead. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Yomi. It's been a pleasure being here with you. I've also
Thank
learned
you.
as we discussed. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. Wow. I love her pattern shots. You can have it all. You can share resources. You can carpool. You can share with another person a resource or the other. You don't have to be the superwoman. And don't go on a guilt trip because you are not the superwoman. You are you. Be you and enjoy being you. And that is critical. And she said something, said review. A year after, look at it, the sacrifices I'm making, am I getting the results? Am I progressing in my career? Am I seeing my children become what I want them to do, to be? Review, review, review. So at the end of the day, you don't wake up to unpleasant surprises. As a career woman, Trust me, you heard it from her. You can have it all. And next week, I'm so excited because next week we are having in the house another phenomenal woman who will be taking us from the angle of an entrepreneur. So I want to look for her flyer and just share it. And I think I'm looking for it now. Okay, if I can't lay hands on it, I'm sure those that follow me will see it coming up. Yes, that is it. Parenting Today, the Entrepreneur's Challenge. And with me in the house next week, Monday, is Ayodeji Mego. But you don't want to miss this edition. You don't want to miss it at all. So make it a date with me next week, Monday, as I host Ayodeji Mego on the challenges of the entrepreneur. Still talking about parenting. Thank you so much, everyone, for being on this call. Like I always say, like this video, share it, pass your comments. Let your world know that there is something like Knox to Nugget right there on the space. And like you very well know, if you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it. And always together we win. God bless you. Have a fulfilling week ahead. Bye for now.